Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola, and thanks for joining us again for another edition of History Makers. Martin Kaymer arrived at Pinehurst number 2 with a major title already to his name and was arguably the hottest golfer in the world leading into that 2014 U.S. Open, having won the Players' Championship earlier that year.
Well, Dave, Kaymer opened with matching 65s, setting the 36-hole U.S. Open scoring record, and he was the first player ever to open a major championship with consecutive rounds of 65 or better. He led by 6 at the midway point, and the weekend was a coronation.
Well, let's look back at Martin Kaymer's masterful 2014 performance at Pinehurst number 2.
Or more.
Wise beyond his years. Martin Kaymer.
Perfect angle here from the right-hand side.
Nice.
Takes advantage of it. Very nice.
Look at the putt he made at 17, the island green. Martin Kaymer for birdie at 1. He makes while Jason Dufner and Keegan Bradley did not. So Kaymer continues his strong play with a nice start. Where Martin Kaymer is surveying this for a birdie.
Even though a short putt here, you still got to be a little careful. Don't get carried away with this one and catch a topspin lip out on the high side. Just getting that thing started down there, and it's hard to keep them on line. Look at that putt wander.
You called it.
Thank you very much, Dan. And here at the now par 5 fifth, the change for this U.S. Open, Martin Kaymer playing his second shot. Over 230 yards back into the breeze, trying to hit a cut, Johnny, off the ball above his feet. Not an easy shot to play.
Well, that was his go-to shot, wasn't it, when he became number 1?
Yes, it was, and he's got it back, obviously, winning the Players just a few weeks ago.
Out to the 5th.
Kaymer for eagle. Chance to share the lead. Putt runs right along the top of the ridge and then eases to the right.
Tough putt to read there.
Yeah, very difficult.
Let's go back to 5.
And see if Kaymer can make this little tap in, which he does, and he gets to 2 under par. So Martin Kaymer throwing his name into the hat early in the opening round of the 2014 United States Open Championship here at venerable Pinehurst number 2.
A little flippy at the top he got, and the combination of going against his natural fade and maybe the looseness at the top. He had some problems, and now he's back swinging better. We'll see how firm he is at the top of the backswing. He might have flared it right. Back down. The one thing you never hear at this golf course is, hey, nice bounce.
At least it's a rarity, right? You mentioned the PGA Championships won here. Everybody has that title. Kaymer, Bradley. As we come back out to the 6th, and this a par attempt for Kaymer.
Well, he knows exactly where to play it. Right edge, maybe barely outside, so no reason not to make this.
Well done. This PGA Championship group playing well off each other. Everybody under par and just 1 bogey. Dufner made it at the 2nd. Chasing the dream.
Absolutely. You can't get it out of your bloodstream.
No.
And over at the par 4 7th, Martin Kaymer, after a perfect tee shot, looks like he choked that and sent it left. That's right where Bubba Watson was, John.
Might have been a double cross. I'm trying to hit a cut and broke down that left wrist while he's on the ball and got sand in the eye just to make it worse.
And over at 7 now, Martin Kaymer for his par. Remember, he missed the green left and chose a putter, much like Bubba Watson did. He tried to run it through that fairway grass and just didn't hit it hard enough, so a drop shot for Martin. Good start so far, 2 birdies in the first 6 holes, but that drops him back to 1 under. Still in the red, just 1 back.
Good look at a hole that maybe hasn't been changed a lot with the restoration, but visually with the changes, all that wire grass and windswept bunkers that kind of sweep up the front side of that green. It's just a dramatic visual change at 9. Over at the 9th.
Kaymer knows this is a little slower than most putts. You can give it a good run, good firm stroke. Go a little left. Well, not firm enough. But pars are great at the U.S. Open on most holes.
He's been on a bit of a bogey trail. Back to 10.
Martin Kaymer with his third. It's just a wedge, so I look for this to be a little more aggressive. There we go. Nice. Kaymer looking to go 2 under par with that putt. Martin Kaymer, short putt to get to 2 under par.
He's got his confidence back, Gary.
Yeah, you can just tell his demeanor on the golf course, Johnny. Just walking, you know, very confidently and
just German precision.
The Players win was his first official PGA Tour win.
Same speed back and through. He's saying go.
Since the 2010 PGA Championship, the Players win for Kaymer.
As we go to 11.
And Kaymer's birdie putt on the way to try to catch Bradley.
Big swinging hook putt. And good distance control. You just wanted to lag it up there and get your 2 putt. And you can see this course is making everybody sweat.
Martin Kaymer for the back of the 13th green. Just a moment ago while we were away. Up the slope. Even though it was a missed green, it wasn't a bad opportunity there.
The yardage is 115.
Even had the great angle on the left side. Took advantage of a beautifully placed tee shot.
Kaymer, who won the Players a month ago in scintillating fashion.
From his caddy, Craig Connolly.
Called the Lehman. .208, that's a 6-iron. He has really played a nice solid round of ball.
And Judy, you might have heard a different number from his caddy. We watched him play this hole in practice the other day, and it sounded to us like the yardage was way off. His caddy actually keeps the yardage in meters, even when they play in this country. So when they get a yardage book that doesn't have meters, Craig Connolly spends about 3 hours going through the yardage book and crossing out all the yardages, and he has an app on his phone that converts it to meters. So
earlier in the year, we saw him pull out the putter from well off the green on numerous occasions, with some success, and at other times not much success.
I think that is just spectacularly good. There was no way to pitch that ball.
That's a good grinding 3 there from over the green. Those are the things that sustain rounds, you know. Got to save par.
Martin Kaymer second. Boy, just another fantastic golf swing. Very steady over the ball. Not a bad shot either.
Wow. Nice.
16.
Martin Kaymer for birdie after that wonderful second shot. And one of the few players who has read that putt from behind the hole.
Yeah, Curtis just played the hole textbook. He had a great drive, 6-iron to that point, and the putt rolled with beautiful speed.
Well, that gets him to -4, 2-shot lead.
Our leader by 2 shots is Martin Kaymer on the tee of the par 3 17th.
And that is a 6-iron. This hole is really close to the left side of the green.
Think he's done with it?
Beautifully done underneath the hole. Very, very good.
What a gorgeous shot Martin Kaymer hit.
We said no one's running here. Martin Kaymer has run it to 5 under. Now here's our leader by 3 strokes, Martin Kaymer.
Likes to cut it. This is a good hole for that. Sets up well for shots that move a little left or right. Drills it.
Our leader, Martin Kaymer, middle of the fairway.
Absolute center of the fairway, Chris, and that is a very, very high 9-iron.
May funnel back off a bit, but again, not bad.
The awkwardness here is he's got about 10 feet of fairway grass, then it goes sharply uphill, and then it is downhill immediately beyond the hole.
Yeah, a little work. But if he makes this par here, it would be a 65, and no one in the, well, now the 9 rounds that we've had in the U.S. Open here, championship at Pinehurst, has made a 65.
He's got it.
29-year-old from Düsseldorf, Germany, has authored a 5 under 65. So his performance at the Players has just curled right into this.
Just solid start on the front 9 with 31, but then you make the turn and you finish in 34. You make the finish in 31. What sparked the run on the back?
I made a few putts in the end. I had a lot of good shots on 15, 16, 17, and finally I could make some putts. The birdies before, they were only really tap-ins, so I hit the ball very solid. I didn't make many mistakes. It was nice to finish it off with a par on 18. You know, I had a little bit of an awkward up and down, but I'm very happy.
We saw you win the Players Championship last month. How much did that fuel your confidence and give you momentum heading into this major championship, Martin?
Well, you know, when you win the Players, it's pretty much you won a major, at least in my books. You know, the way the field is, and I needed a win. You know, if it's a Players or a PGA Tour, a regular PGA Tour event, I just needed it for my confidence, for my for all the work that I put in the last couple of years. I needed something, you know, to feel okay. It's actually worth it to work really, really hard. I needed something to show me, you know, it was all good, all the work that you have done. So that was a nice, huge win, and obviously coming into the U.S. Open now in the next few weeks. There are big tournaments coming up. It's nice if you just won before.
Well, the momentum carries on to a 65, the best round that anyone's ever carded at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Well done, Martin.
Thanks, Tom.
Action underway early in the second round at the U.S. Open Championship, and it's like he never left. 65 yesterday. Martin Kaymer starting on 10 birdies. That to go 6 under already for the championship. Par 4, 13th. Middle fairways all day Thursday. Middle fairways close to pins early on Friday.
Now to our leader, Martin Kaymer. This for yet another birdie. Pretty makeable. Pretty flat, a little bit from the right. Boy, is that smooth. Very confident stroke. Swinging well. And a lot of confidence. Takes a 3-shot lead.
Kaymer on the tee here on 14.
Well, oh boy.
And let's see where it ends up.
Second shot for our leader, Keimer.
Be hard not to hit this fat. He's got to get it up over that. If it's thin, is no good. Sounded okay. Oh, he's going to love that from that position.
That'll do.
Clicking on all cylinders is Martin Keimer right now, and losing sight of the age-old fundamentals. But he decided to try to hit a draw instead of his normal, comfortable cut, and it kind of sabotaged his game. Martin Keimer's gone back to the cut shot, and he hasn't hit a lot of putts like that in the last few weeks. But Keimer's got his confidence back, and he's always been a good ball striker.
Shot or putt that's been a little bit concerning. I think he was shocked that the putt didn't slow down coming up the hill on his first one and didn't go a little bit left. This is a good 10 feet. His stroke is so good right now. It's so low. It's going right at the hole. Beautifully done.
Those are those putts you talked about, right? During our preview show, you said you'd have 50 of those. You'd have to make those par putts, and he just hammered that one in.
This is likely the most difficult hole location on the golf course today. There's really no bailout. That is not good. We haven't seen a lot of poorly played bunker shots, so maybe actually it's not bad if it's not buried. Another guy who just unloads his lower body. That's playing golf from the ground up. The arms and hands just kind of carry the message. Schwartzel did earlier. Sounded heavy, but that's okay. As you say, Andy, didn't love his lie, but a nice result. Yeah, it's a little heavy. Normally the club head will go past the ball even a little farther than that if it's clipped nicely, but that's turned out okay.
Keimer for par to remain at 7 under and a 4-shot lead.
Putting on the same line that Keegan Bradley just putted on.
Just early walked it right in. When you're seeing the line like Martin Keimer sees the line, you can early walk them.
Martin Keimer's only missed 2 fairways all week so far.
I'll tell you what, his stats are unbelievable. He's only had 34 putts and 24 holes also, Andy.
You know, Paul and Andy, his upper body and his backswing and downswing is as stable and as solid as anybody I've seen in a while, much like Adam Scott.
With this green as soft as it is, he can throw it in there and be pretty aggressive. Do not want to miss long. He's throwing this way up in the air. Like throwing darts, gentlemen.
Doesn't look like he's ever going to miss, does he? Now back
16.
to, yeah, sorry, Scott, back to 16. Martin Keimer from about 25 feet. Not much to it, Andy.
Yeah, pretty flat. This is the kind of putt that he's been rolling to the hole that looks like they might go in about most of the time so far this week.
Good grief. On a tear.
You know, when it gets like this, Paul, it does seem easy, doesn't it?
Wow.
Gosh, what a start today. We talked about the weather was going to be perfect. Had to take advantage of it. He's doing just that.
There's not much in the way of breeze, but this is an interesting place on the golf course because you're tucked back in there. There are all those tall trees, and I think you're wondering, is this breeze going to touch it at all?
Good point, Scotty. And there is quite a bit of breeze up at the green, into and from the right.
And this is all carry.
6 iron. He's going to have to hit this.
Didn't appear to love it. It's only perfect.
Wow.
Very high standards right now.
I guess so.
Love it.
Oh boy, it did right at the very end. Perfect speed.
In the U.S. Open, you talk about coveting routine pars at this stage of the game for him. He's grimacing when he doesn't make birdie.
Yeah.
This should be just an automatic.
It's left, and is it cutting enough? I don't think so.
It is not.
Wow, but it looks pretty good. That native area is so much less penal than the standard rough. Well, if that lands on the green, that might have gone over. Now Kaymer, what's he got, Andy?
It's from that native area.
Nah, good shot. That's okay. You've just got to play sensible at this point.
But it's definitely going to go from left to right.
The hardest thing about reaching on these putts is if you hit it too far by, it's the one coming back. This is uphill all the way. Just don't want that little downhill. And again, that's actually okay. If it's not gimme, that's where you want to leave it.
Of the day on the course at 3 under.
Nice. You know, you see him get in there and the intensity, you know, he's relaxed, but he's giving it his full attention. You know, it's almost like, just to get back to that, Scott. Everybody, you know, nobody's satisfied to stay where they are, because if you feel like you're staying where you are, you know, people are going to run by you. People go buy a parked car. That's just the way it is.
Kaymer.
Yeah, Kaymer also with pitching wedge, but he's about 6 yards closer. They launch it way up in the air. They know the mistake is long here. This another one's probably going to come off. No, it stayed up on top.
If you get close, that's one of those things, you know, mentally you just don't recover. Kaymer. Up the
Birdie
hill.
bit on the way.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, and it's
More
been
than
a
you want.
pretty stressless round for Kaymer.
And remains so.
That is a pure stroke and a great camera angle with which to enjoy it.
6 clear of the nearest competitor.
Boy, hit the edge of the fairway, which is the firm part where the water doesn't reach, and bounded forward. Just a wonderful tee shot.
For these 2 days to 2.
Second for our leader. And smart play right in the middle of this green. Once again, only 31% of the players putting it on this green in regulation.
Now that he's 6 shots clear, I think just if he reaches here, you'll get a feel that he's still comfortable. If he comes up short, well, he's not short. I think he's still comfortable clicking on all cylinders. I don't think his mindset's changed much with the 6-shot lead.
Just straight in.
Just a little knee knocker here. But
you don't expect him to miss any of those right now.
That TV tower's been a target for many too. There's a neck there. It's not a difficult play from that spot. Wow.
What a shot. Oh man. Settle. What a shot. Relentless.
The history, the largest 36-hole lead in the U.S. Open is 6 shots. That's his margin right now, and this is for Eagle.
Yeah, this will slide to his right the last 6 or 8 feet, quite a bit.
Well,
Rory
Rory McIlroy had a 6-shot lead after 36 holes at Congressional in 2011 and ran away, as Kaymer might do here. Tiger Woods led by 6 after 36 holes at Pebble Beach in 2000, and he sprinted away and won by 15.
Back-to-back titles to 3.
They can tell you Adam Scott at 4 missed his birdie putt, did make par. Now this for birdie and a 7-shot lead for Martin Kaymer.
Oh, he made that look so easy shot. It was such a confidence stroke. Perfect speed. And he's got the personality type that could run away and hide. He certainly got the fundamentals. Everything's clicking for this guy right now.
This man is 7 clear. Kaymer on the tee at 4.
Really difficult tee shot here. The fairway slopes left to right.
Yeah.
And you know, all the pressure's on one guy right now, and everybody else is in kind of, they're going to relax, and they're in a little bit more of a comfort mode, and it's hard when you're out front.
Kaymer 213, ball below his feet. Ideally, he'd like to throw it in there 20 feet to the right of the hole and just let it trundle down the hill. Green slopes from right to left.
Or you could just go right at it. Just take dead aims. It has been something special.
This is clinical.
I hope you have been able to sit here with us all morning and watch this clinic that he's put on. It has been something to behold so far. Just for another birdie.
Just slides by.
And as disappointing as that might be, that is a pretty nice little routine par on one of the most difficult holes on the course.
And a par 5 and ahead to move to 10 under potentially.
He's playing back into the breeze right now. This hole really requires a straight ball or almost a cut now with the new tee.
This fairway slopes from right to left. Yeah, there you go. Anything out of the stuff, you should have a chance to get up there by the green.
Yeah, but it's over in the edge of the fairway, which could be a tight lie. Back at the 5th hole, our leader to get to -10. This game have gotten to double digits in the U.S. Open. Martin Kaymer is one of them.
Just left the green, and here he's going. 3-iron, 245 yards. He better hit all of it.
Oh, that's
back
right.
into some breeze.
One
This
hander.
one's headed a little bit to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be that bunker. That's going to be actually, you'll have a lot of green to work with, and sometimes those are the more difficult shots because you have many options as to how you want to play it. And that's going to be kind of over that hump you can see, uphill, downhill. And here he, for whatever reason, he just gets stuck underneath it. And let's go with one hand. And that's the first blemish, really. First green he's missed in a long time.
Green slopes away about 3 feet past the hole.
Sounded great. What a shot under pressure. That is some kind of shot. Made it look easy.
Only one bogey thus far. It was 25 holes ago, and it appears that streak will continue.
Yeah, he ended up hitting it so much closer out of the bunker than either two other players putted it. Not much there.
Just dead center is all that
was. Just put it out in the fairway just short of that bunker where the fairway changes directions.
See guys hit driver here at 260 to carry the bunker he's going to lay short of. That's perfect. Now the hole cut on the front left, very dangerous. We've seen a lot of guys come up short there, and pin high right is no good either.
Just throw it just barely on the green. It should get pretty close.
Yeah, very few have gone past this hole. It's a very fast putt back down the hill if you're above it.
And it's actually played surprisingly difficult. The guys have come up short, and well, that is another miscue, 2 in a row for Kaymer. That will be all you can handle, I would think. Watch how far out in front the divot is. Certainly can't tell anything from there, but started it left, and boy, the expression pretty much says it all. He knew right where that was headed, and that's short-sighted.
Third shot at the par 4 7th.
Just has to get it just out of the bunker, straight downhill to the hole.
Another miraculous shot for Kaymer.
So that'll be a par, and still only 1 bogey for the championship on that hole yesterday.
Holding a big lead can really play on a guy overnight. It's a big tee shot here.
Right to left breeze. Fairway slopes from right to left.
Looked like a little bit better swing than the 2 iron shots. Where's it headed? Oh, that is just
barely carried up on the right, and it's going to be just fine.
It sure is. Playing almost 500 yards the 8th hole at 496. Oh, there's 3 bad iron swings in a row. Something's up. We'll just say that. He's let go of a shot on 6, a shot on 7, and now he's let go again on the shot on 8.
Well, he made a par, and he's on the green. So if those are the bad swings at the moment, I hear what you're saying, Paul, but we'll take a look at the swing here.
Well, you know, it's like the stone crab deal, one claw missing here, you know, when you're done with the swing. And of course, it's imperceptible. Anybody that thinks they can see what's going wrong, you know, it's a feeling, something. He's feeling something in there, and usually when you let go, you're stuck. You feel like you're underneath it. He stuck it in the ground. He gives this a little shake. Hopefully he's not hurting anyway. Yet you guard against hitting it that far above the hole, because that little tricky downhill would be a lot more difficult than that little uphiller he's got left. Not a great putt, but he hasn't missed one of those yet.
All right, I would think this would be a good indication of where his nerves are right now. He's hit every one of these perfectly. See if he can do it again.
Beautiful putt. I mean, it just released so routinely.
28 holes without a bogey in the U.S. Open.
What a 2-putt.
See if he can have a good clean hit on this one.
Right where you expect it to be. That is a terrific shot.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Well, this putt for 64. It's hard to say.
Nope. But no one had ever shot 65 here in the U.S. Open. He'll have that for matching rounds of 65. So you do something that's unprecedented and then you back it up. One of the hardest things in the game to do.
It's hard to follow up a great score. 3-shot lead overnight. There's a couple question marks for Kaymer, even as well as he's played.
What are they?
Well, he's been shaking his wrist a little bit, and he let go of the last, 3 of the last 4 iron shots into the green. So remarkable. But I believe he has a little work to do, and maybe the question is he hurt? Let's hope not. That is historic stuff the first 2 days. Just incredible. incredible golf on one of the most difficult golf courses you ever want to see.
In historic fashion to this point is Martin Kaymer. Martin, before we get to the round, let me start with how you're doing physically. Second shot on 8, we saw you sort of working out the wrist and hand. How you doing physically?
I'm doing good. I mean, it's just, you know, a lot of practice, a lot of golf the last few months. And, you know, at one stage, the body tells you, you know, it maybe gets a little bit too much, but I feel fine. There's no problem.
We spent the better part of 5 hours exhausting every kind of adjective we could think of to describe how you played. How would you describe it?
Well, very solid again. You know, I didn't make a bogey, which is nice. Yesterday I made 1 bogey. I struggled a little bit the last 4 or 5 holes, but kept it fairly well together. Didn't make any mistakes. Made a couple good up and downs down. I think it was 6 and 7. So I just, you know, didn't miss many fairways, didn't miss many greens.
Martin, in theory, everybody would love to possess a huge lead heading into the weekend of a major, and you have a good track record with leads. But what's the challenge of where you're at right now in the leaderboard, if there is one to you?
Well, it's not a done deal, you know, and that you don't approach Saturday and Sunday in a relaxed way. There's never a time where you can relax unless it's Sunday afternoon when you raise the trophy. Then you can relax, but before that you have to keep playing. There's never really a time where you can just take it easy and just think, you know, I'm leading by 2 now, leading by 5 or whatever it is. You know, you have to set your own goals and keep playing well.
A very difficult thing to do, to play so well and then back it up. 65-65. Beautiful playing and a huge lead, Martin.
Thanks very much.
In the same year, and no one has ever lost a U.S. Open lead of more than 3 shots. He begins the day with a 6-shot cushion.
This more toward the right side, but should be just fine.
Yeah, it's about a 40-yard wide fairway. About 90-something% of the players are hitting this fairway because they're all laying it up. So sort of a no-brainer layup, easy shot. But the second shot's not easy. No 3 putts. 303 average off the tee, and number 1 in birdies with 11. That'll do it.
So he's doing it all. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, everything. And 9 out of 10 out of up and ins, number 1.
Saw that list of the fastest to double digits under par. Only McIlroy and Tiger finished double digits under par, though. So you saw all those guys that got the double digits in a U.S. Open where Kaymer is right now, but only 2 of them were able to finish it off, and of course went on to win this championship. A low angle look at this roll by Kaymer.
Again, another putt that's on the low side. That's the theme today, no doubt about it.
Back at the tee now, Martin Kaymer.
Coming off his first bogey in 31 holes. See how he responds.
This going up the right side of the fairway. I think it should be okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Just in the right side, kind of in that thin area close to the native, but he's in the fairway.
Willing.
Now Kaymer at the third with his second. Got that thin lie. Wow, look at that. Kaymer still has his foot on the accelerator. He wants to increase that lead. Take a look here. We talk about the thin lie there close to that transition between the fairway and the native area. And take a look at the strike. Boy, you don't think that's a sandy base under these fairways?
Yeah, I would expect him to make this, John. It's not going to do much. Going to go a little right, maybe.
We really haven't seen him miss a putt inside 10 feet.
No. This is uphill. I'd be surprised if he did not hold it. I'm surprised. I am surprised.
Well, we saw him do nothing but make those putts the first 2 rounds on his way to a pair of 65s.
Held Phil Mickelson's face in his hands after he made that par-saving putt and says, "You're going to love being a father." All right, Kaymer dropping his second shot of the day is now at the 5th.
Little wind aiding this tee shot with this going down the left.
Well, that's another pull. And that is into the native area. Now it all depends on where it ends up. Oh, that might not be too fortunate. Raj, how about the lie?
Yeah, ball's in a little bit of a groove in the sand here, and a little bit of high sand behind it. It's going to be very hard to hit the solid. 202 left to the hole.
This could go in that bunker right in front of him.
Yeah, they got a pretty good piece of it. It's pretty solid. Wow, what a shot.
Yes.
What a shot.
Whoa. Gary. Whoa. Closest second shot we've seen all day.
How do you do that out of that groove?
Well, let's take another look, John. And I mean, he leads the club head with the hands. Just beautiful. Gets right down on top of it.
I thought maybe it was really in a groove, but I guess it was doable.
Just great acceleration. And to get the ball to land that softly, I mean, we've seen other balls land in that same area. Chase well past the hole, so Martin Kaymer set up to possibly make an eagle. And go back to 5 for the eagle.
Got to go a little bit left.
How about that? Started the day with a 6-shot lead. Appears to have struggled through the first 4 holes, and now the lead is 7. Back to 10 under par.
3 others 6 back as we get you back out to the leader at the 7th.
Uphill birdie putt here to get back to double figures under par.
I think he'll try to go a little bit to his right.
That's correct. Most importantly, he's got to get it there. Everybody's been leaving this shore, Roger. Well, he got it there. So a par 4 here for Kaymer, but Brendan Todd has got all kinds of trouble here.
Yeah, from off the green here, first 2/3 of the putt uphill. I think it might turn just ever so slightly to his left, not a lot, and it levels out just short of the hole. Well, he didn't get it up over that final little part of the ridge.
At the 8th hole for par, Kaymer to stay at 9 under. Kaymer does it again. Par saving putt. And birdie putt comes up just short. How about Kaymer?
Pretty clutch, huh?
Avoids his 4th bogey in the first 8 holes.
A 6-iron here.
There's a bunker back right that's you can't see, but it's possibly in play for a guy who cuts it.
Well, this right of the hole, and I think would miss the ridge there and go down right.
He was heading for that bunker, but that's going to be quite the 2-putt, I can tell you that. Another hole he's going to have to grind it out.
Back up that ridge that Roger talked about, kind of on that shadowy part of the green.
He was leading the field and hitting his approach putts the closest to the hole, just like a 1 foot 9 inches.
Not bad, but still plenty left to test him to stay at 9 under. Kaymer over at the 9th. Every time you feel like he's going to drop one, maybe he drops one of these, no problem. He's done it time again this week, Roger.
Well, he's been really solid here. There's not too much in this.
So the first 9 out of the way for Martin Kaymer +1. 3 birdies or 3 bogeys and that eagle at the 5th. And so the front 9 at +1 for Kaymer.
Takes the club back a little more to the inside, Johnny, instead of outside. Hits it rather low and lets it release a little bit. See if he can do it here.
That's the shot he's trying to play, but it checks up a little bit. Doesn't quite get over that little ridge you were talking about. Kind of where I expected him to hit it. Good.
It didn't sound real crisp, did it, Gary?
No, John, but as Roger said, if you're going to make a mistake, you have to make it just short.
Good form.
Yeah, actually a little release of the club head, which trying to drive it a little lower and get it to release some.
Well, you wonder if that little ridge that his left foot is just about on might not influence a little right off the putter.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it has been the tendency for players to not see that and miss a little right. Just like that, right at the end.
Pure.
That was a great putt.
This is makeable.
Had a single birdie on Kaymer's card today, the eagle at the 5th.
Man, that had to look real good at halfway.
It would grab a little more attention for golf back in his home country of Germany. Germany, of course, is in the World Cup. They start play on Monday against Portugal. In football, by far the biggest sport back in Kaymer's home country. So said maybe I can steal a little bit over here in Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Well, his idol is Bernhard Langer, of course, the great German player that plays the senior tour.
With the driver, Roger.
They need to hit a good tee shot here. And it starts up the left, and it's really not cutting much.
It looks like the tee shot he hit at 4. Just low left.
He's having trouble with that left to right wind, Roger. I guess he thinks he has to hold it, and he's done the same thing almost every time. Let's take a look at this. Look at how overswing there. Gives him a lot of time. When you overswing, it gives you more time to close that toe down, and you can see that toe was towed down by impact there.
Got to be careful here. It's a narrow little opening there in front of this green at 12.
Wow. Play. Go. Play.
Well, that's really a good escape.
Wow, some of the shots this young man is hitting, just phenomenal. A long attempt at his birdie and coming off that fantastic approach out of the native Roger. He's got to feel good about where he is right now.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good breaker right to left here. If he gets out here with 4, I think he's going to be very pleased.
One of the strengths of his game, certainly all week, has been his putting. And that is a pretty good leg. He's got a little work left. He looks to be in complete control. That is in control. Hits it in trouble, no problem. Hits it in the fairway, no problem.
Back on the tee is Kaymer, who's benefiting from everything that's happening in front of him.
Perfectly for his fade.
Yeah, it is, and he's piped it, Johnny, right in the center of the fairway.
It's amazing how straight he's hit it on all the holes that work for fade, and how poorly he's driven on the ones or the wind or the ones that don't set up for the fade.
And here is Kaymer over at 14.
166. Got a guard from going long here, John. Just can't go long.
I was out walking today on this green, and it just really falls off in 3 ways here, and that's really where you want to hit it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
And just when you think Kaymer's lead is going to really fall off, somebody else closest to him falls off. And either does that. Oh, it's going to just hold right
certainly thought that was in. That was the kind of putt that I thought he was going to make.
Oh, Carolina breeze might blow that in.
Just hovering up there. About a third of the ball is over the hole, but the bottom of the ball is not.
Close to top it as you'll ever see.
And there still is a little help in this wind. It's going left to right as well, John, but you've got to keep this ball left of the hole. You go at the flagstick, or anything right of it, it seems like it's dead man's alley.
He swung hard. He's looking right.
Well, it's a high launch, and it's right. It's going to miss right.
Whoa, we got away with it.
Wow.
This rides the right edge. Little pocket right there. It's not bad. It's actually a very makeable little pitch shot.
Kind of looking like that, but so much can happen. Not only down the stretch here today, but final round of the U.S. Open.
See if he can get it to the hole. He's left a few short.
Boy, that took some hops. Darted a little left. All in all, not bad though, huh?
Good distance. Tracing a lot of putts on the low side though today. Seems like Keimer's 3 over for the day.
And still has a 4-shot lead. Began the day 6 shots clear. So things have tightened up. Carolina sand, and now Keimer on the tee at 18. 1 hole left in the 3rd round.
It is the most difficult fairway to hit at 55%. You really don't need a driver here because it's playing pretty short, but his fade is perfect for the shot. Hit a huge drive at 16.
This looks to be throttled. But it stays in the fairway on the right.
Good looking tee shot. Yeah, he's just going to have a short iron looking right at it. Good chance to make birdie.
Hey, pretty good looking shot here.
So now it's just a matter of it's going to be a 5-shot lead or a 4-shot lead. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was pretty predictable after that big tee shot. Got 2 real bad tee shots, especially number 4, remember, in the left trees. And he had one other pull hook.
This for a 5-shot 54-hole lead in the U.S. Open.
Man,
that's a good way to say goodnight at Pinehurst number 2. Birdie the 18th, post 8 under. And so it'll be Martin Keimer at 8 under.
Martin looking at his scorecard right now after that birdie at the last. A 72, Martin, compared to the 65s on Thursday and Friday, was what to you?
It was good. You know, I didn't play as good as the first 2 days, but I kept it very well together. I felt like today, if you have 25 feet or 30 feet on every green, you've done well. I mean, the USGA put the pins in very, very tough positions. On 18, that was probably the easiest pin today, and fortunately I could take care of it.
How satisfied are you with that 72?
Yeah, very. I mean, I made a couple bad swings on the first 9, put myself in bad positions, but I only made bogey, which is okay. Only one birdie and 1 eagle, so but I'm happy. You know, 8 under par after 3 rounds is a good score.
It's a U.S. Open. It's supposed to be tough out there. We'll see you on Sunday. Thanks, Martin.
Absolutely.
You, Martin, yesterday we spoke at about this same time. 36 holes to go. You had a 6-shot lead. Now there are 18 holes to go. You have a 5-shot lead. Will anything change for you today?
No, not really. You know, my biggest challenge is to keep going. You know, what I said yesterday already. It's quite easy to try to defend that lead that you have, and I think that would be the wrong approach. You know, it's easier said than done. I really hope that I will find a way to keep going and play my game, and don't focus too much on the other guys. You know, on that golf course, what happened yesterday can happen so quickly that you're 2-3 over par all of a sudden. So you can't really think ahead or get away from your own game.
Last month at the Players Championship, you held the lead every single night going into the final round, same position you're in now. Are there any similarities of that week and this week here at Pinehurst?
It's quite exhausting, you know, especially after the rounds. Obviously, there's a lot of talking afterwards, and then Sleeping is a little bit more difficult. It's very, very exhausting when you lead a golf tournament from the first day on, because there's never really a time where you can relax, and there's so many expectations, so it's difficult.
Bernhard Langer won 2 Masters. You have a chance today to win a second major championship, to become another German to win multiple major championships. You had a chance to text him back and forth while he's on vacation. What did you guys have to say to each other?
Well, very calm and very easy words. Keep it simple. Play your game. Very simple things. They mean a lot, especially the way he was texting. It's always funny, a little German, a little English in there. But he's him and his family. They're supporting me a lot. Every time I'm in contention, there's a text message. His wife, she was texting me yesterday as well. So it's very nice of the Langers family to support me the way they do.
You're always kind with your time. Appreciate it. Good luck out there today.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Been witnessing coverage here on the Golf Channel and NBC, and now they're going to watch it in person. Pretty exciting.
And Natalie Gulbis out here watching some of the action, also getting in some practice time. Yanni Sen, the former #1 player in the world and the winner of the 2005 North-South Women's Amateur here. There's Lexi Thompson, who won her first major earlier in the year at the ladies' first major.
It's held the outright lead in this championship for almost 72 hours. A lot of pressure.
This too, pretty much on the same line as Fowler's. The right side.
And everybody's off.
For this group is Tom O'Toole Jr., president of the USGA.
Slightly downhill, but not much, and I think it'll work just a little to his right, not a whole lot.
Yeah, you got it right. Moves right. Par wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, that's for sure. Don't want to leave yourself 4 feet, though.
Good putt. So a solid start for Keimer, who actually for maybe a second or two thought he might have drained this for the 3.
Yeah, he hit it right where he wanted to, and it just didn't break as much. Roger had it right on the button, just barely outside left.
Par start for Keimer. Fowler faced with a long par putt to try to stay 5 back.
Well, Keimer drove it on this green round 2 on Friday when the tee was up.
Much easier from the left tee than the right tee here.
He's taking it up and across and very much on the same line as Ricky's. Oh, carried it up on there. Wow.
Ball's got to stop. Wow, you think it's just kind of his week, maybe? Another foot, that ball goes off the back of the green. From right to left.
Go Blue Guyver!
It's well judged there. Boy, he is under complete control. As good as he's played, I think the most impressive part of his game for me has been his putting. He's made big putt after big putt.
Part of this putt will level out a little bit in the last half of the putt, but still slow.
Another one of those approach putts. Anything inside 8 feet would be good. He's done a lot
He's
better
done a
now.
pretty good job with that.
Wow, that was really good.
How about inside 3 feet? Has that for par.
Keimer hasn't hit for a while, Roger.
Well, the good news is this is not a terribly complicated putt here. All right to lefter inside the hole on the right.
So just like that, when Fowler was a part of the closest pursuer to Keimer, he now is squeezed back down to 1 under. 8 shots behind Keimer is Fowler.
He had that bent left.
All right,
wow.
Keimer for birdie at the 6th.
and uphiller here, and I'm having a hard time seeing much in the way of breaking it. Might try to work just right at the cup.
Cranking out pars would do him just fine right now, wouldn't it? Kaymer to remain at 9 under. And 1 under for his round. And there's not many golfers, if any, put any pressure on Kaymer. Only one player under par in the last 8 pairings, and you're looking at him.
And Kaymer's got an 8 iron too.
I have a feeling it's another one of those shots that he's going to make birdie on, Roger.
Oh, it sure sets up for his shot save beautifully.
Yeah, this is just right up his alley.
That was a little steep. Really hit high and just left of the hole.
There's how you play the ninth.
Little break to the left here.
That was not an easy putt, folks. Yeah,
he did make birdie.
Yeah, well, my hunch has been good so far this week.
Lead back up to 6. 15th birdie or better this week for Kaymer.
The way he putts, you know, you almost think, well, good chance he's going to make it.
Well, it doesn't look like a real tough putt. There's not a huge break in it. I mean, it is slightly uphill. He doesn't really have to be concerned about speed. I think he's got a good shot at holding it.
I mean, beautiful iron off the tee and hit this one right where he wanted to.
Talking about the confidence that he gained after making that Ryder Cup clinching putt. He didn't win in 2012 until December of that year.
Just a little break to the left.
We mentioned how, we mentioned how Olafala hit him in the lineup. Even the one team match he lost badly. And so it wasn't a real long time ago that Kaymer was down in the dumps looking for that spark. But man, now as he's back in the groove. In the same year, Tom Kite took the 1992 U.S. Open and then won a PGA Tour event in Atlanta on Mother's Day that same year. Quite the double for Kaymer.
So solid all week with the putter. So Kaymer leaves the 12th. 6 shots clear.
Well, that one is going right. At the bunker's right.
Yeah, that's okay. Plenty of green from there.
About as good a spot as you could find if you didn't drive it on the green here. This is not a particularly hard bunker shot, it doesn't look like. And back uphill, it's a deep bunker. Yeah, it wasn't all that good, but okay. Wait a minute.
Is he going to stay there?
He's going to run after it if it does stop. He's going to get a point on it quick.
Compton did, back to 13.
And the birdie putt for Kaymer.
Good news here underneath the hole.
Solid stroke. Well, left it in the right spot with the tee shot. Left it in a good spot to putt from with the bunker shot.
This week, this is Metalwood, and he hits a lot of long irons on layups, remember? And he hits his driver, of course, but not this one.
Yeah, this has got to be to take that left bunker out of play, Johnny. He can hit it at that, maybe cut it away from it, which he's doing. It's going to be just fine.
You know, guys that can cut the ball, they're the ones that win the U.S. Opens more than any other flight.
Plenty more for him to go for here down the stretch.
179 left here.
The pin's sort of front middle left. You see it right in front of the bill of his cap. You can see really well with your nice TVs.
Just a little right of the hole. Good strike.
Like you got to be real happy with that. Yes, exactly what I have.
Another note on those opening 65s. Kaymer was the first player ever in a U.S. Open to record the outright low round of the day in each of the first 2 rounds of the Open.
How you doing with double digits?
How you doing with an 8-shot lead? He's matched McIlroy's margin of victory right now, and he's got 4 holes left.
Roger, he flew it in there.
Group that Kaymer was trying to join, multiple major champions before age 30. The others in the order, Johnny, you were on that list. And Tom Watson, Seve, John Daly, Ernie Els, Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy. Again, small group since 1970.
This could almost just touch it, and he's done a great job. In fact, it might, would have probably gone in. He looks at it. Go ahead and smile, Mark.
1 hole left.
Enjoy yourself.
There's a little smile shared with Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, he should just be having nothing but fun right now.
Yeah, you know, it's so rare to get this kind of cushion in one of these championships, a major nonetheless. To have that kind of lead. 3rd shot now for Compton. Up at 18.
Man, that's a good shot.
Is that a good shot? Chance for a par for Compton.
Man, that was not an easy shot with the pin back there and the flagstick.
Stenson's putt for birdie came up short and right, so he needs to hit this firm.
This to get in at under par in the U.S. Open.
What a beauty.
And just as he stroked it, the chimes came in. Can't think of a more appropriate way to finish for Eric Compton. An emotional, awe-inspiring week.
What an up and in from that bunker with that long of a bunker shot. That was a 110.
For the 2-time heart transplant recipient on his 3rd heart. It's going to be his best finish on tour.
Get it on the green putting.
Okay, a little left to the hole. Underneath. Nice. Real offense to challenge Kaymer.
There weren't a lot of greens hit by the last 6 groups. Even Martin Kaymer only hit 9 out of 18 greens, and he's 1 under for the day. That shows what kind of putting and scrambling he did.
Trying to grab solo 2nd with a birdie at 18.
That was always to the right.
So Fowler and Compton finish tied for 2nd at 1 under. Ricky just 25 years old, and you get the feeling with the way his game has come around that
it's about a 5-inch break to the right.
Just like he did all week, rams it home, and Martin Kaymer is a U.S. Open champion at Pinehurst.
Very impressive.
Started rolling away for the field on Thursday and just kept going. Tying Rory McIlroy's 8-shot margin. Alessandra Gall, also from Germany, out there to give him a hard play in the Women's Open this week.
I present to you, with the United States Open Championship trophy, the time-honored emblem of our national championship.
Martin, you won the Players on Mother's Day. You've now won the U.S. Open on Father's Day. Last month in Ponte Vedra Beach, you held the lead after every round. This week here at Pinehurst, you held the lead after every round. What is that pressure like?
Well, it's a lot, you know, especially if you play on a different continent. But again, at the Players, the fans were very fair, and the same here this week. So when playing with Ricky today, I knew it was going to be very difficult. He's a very aggressive player, and he can make a lot of birdies if he wants to. So, but overall, it was a very nice week, very nice day, and again, you know, a lot of credit to the fans and the spectators because it was very fair to play.
How would you compare the way you're playing right now with these two huge wins in the last month to 3 years ago in 2011 when you were the #1 player in the world?
Well, I didn't make many mistakes, you know, the last two wins that I had in America. Especially this week, I played very solid the first 2 days, and that gave me a very nice cushion for the weekend. But to shoot only 1 over par here in Pinehurst on Saturday and Sunday is good. You know, the way I played, I was very happy. The way I kept it together yesterday, and that gave me a good cushion for today.
Growing up in Germany, you idolized Bernhard Langer playing golf. He's Germany's greatest golfer of all time. He's won the Masters twice. You've now won 2 major championships. What does it mean to you to match his major championship resume right now at just 29 years of age?
Well, we have almost a German Grand Slam. Almost. There's only the British Open missing. But you know, to win the Masters, it's a huge thing, and obviously that's why I need to adjust a few things on my swing in order to play better golf there. So winning the PGA, winning this one now, I hope it will make Bernhard proud. I'm sure it will make whole Germany proud, and you know, it's nice that I could win on Mother's Day. Maybe was it 4 or 5 weeks ago? Our Father's Day was already a couple weeks ago in Germany, but and I didn't get anything for my father that day, so maybe that works.
Certainly a nice gift right here with that trophy. Congratulations, Martin.
Thanks very much.
Dan, back to you.
So composed. Martin Kaymer gets to lift that trophy. Call himself a United States Open champion.